TATtalk. Thanks for joining us. It's been a little while, but today we're going to go over some books, some top references that I use for Polynesian tattooing. Also, we're going to go over some tattoos. Right here, you could see a cover up. So this cover up that I did right here, it was a full sleeve, and I'm going to break that down for you guys. Also, we have another tattoo that I think I showed some in progress shots, but I'm going to break that down for you guys. And then lastly, here's another tattoo that I really like. It's a wrist, kind of partially on the hand tattoo, and there's a lot of meaning to it, so we're going to break that down on today's show. We'll see you guys in a bit. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. So once again, TATtalk Live is a live show here on Facebook, and we'd like to engage with everyone. So please let us know where you're watching from. And also, if you have any knowledge on Polynesian tattooing, if you have any questions or comments, just go ahead and let us know what's going on. What's up, James and Bobby Ford? How you guys doing? So today's show, we are going to go over some books. On the last show, I was explaining, I think I was talking about some books, and some of the viewers wanted to know some of my best books that I like. So I do have them today, and I'm going to go over them, also with some links, and that's going to be good. And we're going to break down some Polynesian tattoos with meanings and everything like that. So please ask questions. Let me know if you guys have any comments. Before we start, I do want to go over a current event. So I just recently found out that in Hawaii, on the Big Island, the Mauna Kea, there is a protest. There has been for years now, because they are wanting to do construction and build a 30-meter, it's called TMT, it's a telescope. And there's been a lot of protests because of the fact that the construction is going to desecrate some burial grounds. It's just an ancient Hawaiian land that they're putting these telescopes on. And there's a lot of protests. And just recently, I think the Supreme Court, I believe, just approved everything. And the governor had a press conference and said that they're going to go ahead with it. So here's a quick video just to show what happened.
Yesterday afternoon, the Department of Land and Natural Resources issued a notice to proceed to the University of Hawaii at Hilo for the 30-meter telescope.
Understanding how the process works, it was clear that the writing was on the wall that this would end up happening. It's unfortunate that it is happening. Because we are talking about the destruction of our mana.
We will proceed in a way that respects the people, place, and culture that make Hawaii unique. We are all stewards of Mauna Kea. The state has an obligation to respect and honor the
So I understand.
People in America would honor their own constitution, like you swore an oath to. We would not be in this situation now.
All right, so there you go, guys. Thanks to Star Bulletin, I think that's it, for giving us the news there. But there's protests going on. This is happening right now, so I don't know. I'm not up to date as far as the protests and everything happening. I just got word of it, looked it up. That's what I saw. But it's good that we all know that, because, my viewpoint is that technology is good. And I think that we should have telescopes to, be able to research and find out new information and all that. That's always good. We need to move forward and evolve, but we also have to respect the culture, the land, the people that were there. And hopefully, the governor said that he is going to respect the people and everything. And we'll see how he does that, because I guess, right when they got word, they went up, I think it was like 3 a.m, and just start tearing down structures that were built in protest on the way up to Mauna Kea and all that. There's definitely going to be things happening, and people said that they don't mind getting arrested because this is really important to them. This is their culture. This is their land. Their ancestors are up there, because there's burial grounds. It's very important. So we'll keep you updated. We'll see what's going on. I'm also going to be in contact with the Li'inui, with Kingdom of Atui, and see if he's involved in any way, which he is doing a lot of things recently throughout Polynesia and Hawaii, just trying to help the people, the youth, and protect the land. So we'll see from there, and I'll keep you guys updated. Once again, we are only doing one show a month because I am extremely busy, but thank you guys for supporting and watching. And I'm always getting a lot of feedback that this helps a lot of people, so I'm glad that we can be here to help. So please let us know if you want to know any more information or have any topics you want to go over. So I'm going to break down some Polynesian tattoo reference books that I like. I'm going to do the top 3, and we're going to start off with this book. So this book is Maori Tattooing for New Zealand, or Aotearoa for you guys. The reason why I like this book is because the author, H.D. Robley, he actually lived with Maori, and back in the 1800s, he studied the moko. And in New Zealand, they didn't have a word for tattoo, or they had a word for tattoo, but it wasn't tatau, it was moko, ta moko. And he studied that, and he actually was an artist, so he took note and he recorded a lot of things, and that's all in this book. It's a really good book. You could see some photos right here to my side. But another thing that I like about it is that he explains a lot of the culture and history that goes along with it and breaks it down. So it's not just like a dictionary saying this means this, but it gives more information. And I think that's what's really important with Polynesian tattoos, is the information besides just the art. It's the information, the symbols, and the culture behind it and why they would do what they did. So I like this book. So what I'm going to do is every time I show you a book and kind of describe it, I'm going to, right now, since we are live, going to put the link as a comment. And hopefully that works for you guys. And I looked up where you can purchase these books. Majority of them are on Amazon. There's one in particular that you have to actually go to the site and purchase it. But the rest you can just get on Amazon, click on the link, and, you can get it there. So let me do that right now. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Bobby Ford said Mother Nature is going to let them have it. Volcanoes. That is something. That's something that I guess some of the non-Hawaiian, non-Polynesian people don't understand, is the spiritual side of things. Like the volcano, Pele, and, a lot of people don't believe in that. And I definitely do, and I've seen too much to not believe in stuff like that. We just have to respect the land and the culture and respect people in general. I hope that there's a lot of compromise in Mauna Kea where they compromise in some way. I don't know. They have to. We'll see. But let me find this link. All right. So I'm going to put in a comment right now. And let's see if it works. This is the first time I'm doing this. Let me see. All right. So I just put it up there. It's not a link, but oh, maybe it is. Sorry. I'm testing it right now. Yes, sir. $14.78. $14. That's a well spent $14. This is a really good book, guys. Really good book. Something to know about Tamoko is that the designs that were used on their face, the sacred seals that they would put on their face, the chiefs, it has a lot of genealogy, a lot of meaning to within their own family, and it is sacred. It's something that you need to know about the Tamoko. So great book. But let's move on. So the next book, Filipino tattoos. All right. So I like this book. My wife likes this book. So the reason why I like this book, before everyone says Filipinos are not Polynesian, because that's a whole nother topic in itself. Filipinos, the Philippines is an island for sure, and people say it's Asian, but if you do a lot of research and history, you find that a lot of Polynesians come from Southeast Asia, Taiwan, coming down through Indonesia, all that. So I don't doubt that the Philippines was part of that migration, and a lot of their symbols and motifs show that because they're very similar, and that's what I like about this book. I like that in the beginning, the author Lane Wilkin, he actually traveled to Philippines, and he went throughout the world, but he lays out a lot of information about Polynesia, not just Philippines, but in the beginning of the book, just right here, this is Samoa, this is Suluape Patelo, I believe. Yep, Suluape Patelo and Samoa, doing hand tap tattoos, and you see Samoan implements, and let's see. Sorry, the camera. Okay, so anyways, in this book, the great thing about the Filipino tattoos book is that in the beginning of the book, he goes over a lot of the Polynesian symbols, and then he shows how they're similar to Filipino tattoos. And then throughout the book, he shows Filipino symbols and motifs and explains what it means in different regions of Philippines and why they would use it. And that's the best thing. The best thing about Polynesian symbols and motifs to know is why they did it. It's not just this represents strength or this represents weaving. It's why. Why did they do that? And for example, there's a lot. I was gonna just break it down, but we gotta move on. So anyways, let's move on to the next book. So this one, Te Patutiki, this book right here, one of my favorite. It is a dictionary. So the whole book comprises of the Patutiki symbols, Marquesian designs, and Patutiki is from Marquesas Islands. As you can see right here, there's designs, and it breaks it down. It has it in English and Tahitian, and it says what it means. And what I like is that it gives a lot of different meanings. It could possibly be this, or it could represent this, and this is where your discernment as a Polynesian tattoo artist needs to come in handy, where you can put those symbols to use in someone's story. But in the beginning of the book, he also gives his ancestors, or his genealogy, because his family is a line of tattoo artists. So I like this book. He also came out with another volume 2, and I'm gonna put a link. Oh, I gotta do the link for Filipino tattoos. I'm gonna do that right now. Give me 1 second. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. All right, Filipino tattoos. There you go. And then Te Patutiki. So, the good thing about these books is that it's not only for tattoo artists. If you're looking to either study Polynesian tattoos, a lot of history goes along with tattoos. It goes all the way back to the the ancient Polynesians, where they would put these symbols on tapa, or even the Lapita people going back before the Polynesians, and it was on the pottery. So this is how they track their migration and their culture, basically. So these books are really good for that. Now, let's I got some honorable mentions. I got a couple books that I also really like. I have a ton of books, but so it's really hard to choose this. Now, after this, if you guys have any questions, because you got Samoa, Tonga, Rapa Nui, Hawaii, you got so much different islands and cultures within Polynesia. If you guys have any questions, let me know, because I have books on a lot. Solomon Islands, Marshall Islands, Guam. I mean, just a lot of books. So it's hard to pick. Anyways, so this one, Tattooing in the Marquesas. This is a really good one. It shows a lot of designs, and it breaks it down, but you're gonna have to like translate in this book. This might be more for Polynesian tattoo artists, because the designs itself, you'll see how they put it together. But what I like about it is that, you know, in the beginning, he actually explains a lot of the designs and motifs. Now, we don't want to disrespect the culture and just take these books and then just do different designs and copy and everything. A lot of good things about these books is that you can research to gain knowledge. And that's what I was kind of explaining in the last show. You can't just get a book and then all of a sudden do Polynesian tattoos. We all love to respect the culture. And this is a way that we can respect the culture, by reading and learning the culture and taking the time out to do that. So that's why I'm kind of showing what books are out there, and the authentic books, I would say. So last but not least, oh wait, let me put a link. I'll put a link to that one. Let's see, Tattooing in the Marquesas. The good thing is a lot of these books are not too expensive. The Te Patutiki one is kind of expensive because you got to order it from out of country. And when you order it from out of country, you got to pay the shipping, and it's almost as much as the book. I mean, it's kind of up there, but it's worth it. Definitely worth it. All right, so I'm going to do this. So that's book. What's up, Weldon? And Ken, how's it? And Kavika, what's going on, guys? So right now we're breaking down some Polynesian tattoo reference books. I'm giving you guys links here in the comments. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. But from the last show, some viewers were asking about the books that I use and wanted to know more information. So that's what I'm doing. I already put up 4 books, and this is the last one, the 5th one. This is all in Tahitian or French. Let me see. I think it's French. Yes, French. So this book is all in French, and in Tahiti, it's part of French Polynesia, which a lot of people in Tahiti speak French and Tahitian. I like this book because it goes over all cultures. It is a book for Tahiti, and I bought this in Tahiti, but I found it. And I'll put the link up so you guys can order this. I think there's only a limited number available. But, yeah, pick it up. So what I like about this book is it shows different cultures. Right here, actually, the photo that was put up was Hawaii. That's Tahiti, I believe. Or Marquesas, one of them. I can't really see. And then this one's Hawaii. So, yeah, what I like is they go throughout Polynesia. And when you take all these different books and you combine it and you read, you know, different perspectives on different things and people's ideas, you get a really good knowledge, and it's a really good base and foundation for doing Polynesian tattoos. There's so much out there right now that people are just picking it up and designing, and that's where you kind of fall into the trap of disrespecting the culture, because you're just putting symbols together. It is a ongoing learning process. I'll never learn the whole thing. I'll just continue to learn and learn and learn. I feel my job is to pass that on, whatever I learn, but I don't know everything, and hopefully we could do that together. So I'm going to learn from you guys and teach you whatever I know so that we can do the best we can. Now, definitely my take on people out there just getting knowledge and, going out of their house and tattooing for money. You hear that a lot. I've been seeing a lot of comments on YouTube because we have some videos on YouTube, and people are going back and forth where they talk about you're not Polynesian, it's a disgrace, or it's silly. Why do you have a Polynesian tattoo? I have my own perspective on that, and my perspective has changed throughout the years. Obviously, we all grow, we all learn, and I've heard a lot of things from the elders and my own perspective. It's the way that I see it is, if you have a problem, well, this is my opinion. If you have a problem with someone else wearing a Polynesian tattoo and you're Polynesian, I think that feeling that you get, a little conflict or anger, whatever it is, there's some root cause within you. There's some identity crisis. There's something. I know a lot of people say, well, my own race, my Polynesian ancestry, they got killed or they got wiped out, genocide, this and that. And yes, that has happened. But, a lot of people that get Polynesian tattoos, they just want to, they love the culture and they want to share that. So, and it shouldn't have anything to do with you. That's just my take on it. I know it's controversial, but that's what I believe. I believe that, let them wear it, because I guarantee you, if they're putting it on disrespectfully, or if they're putting on a Polynesian tattoo, not knowing what it is and just to be cool, it'll come back on them. Polynesian tattoo is very spiritual. It's very sacred, and it's not for us to say what people can do to their body. And you wouldn't want that stress anyways to put on yourself, to worry about someone else. So that's why, I tattoo a ton of non-Polynesians. Not for the money, because I've turned away a couple people too when they want it just for the looks. That's just not my job to do, and there's other people that will do it, but I won't do that. Everyone that I tattoo respect the culture, and they love it. And by respecting it, you don't have to know everything about it. People come in kind of worried because they're like, I love it, but I don't know what it means. I've tried looking it up, but I don't know what to believe. That's very common. And I just say, don't worry about it. You're not like an anthropologist, and you're not here to study Polynesian, but as long as you have the love for the culture and you respect it, that's why they found me, or you find another artist that really cares about it, and then we educate people and we tell them what we're doing and why we're doing it. And I think if you do it that way, then you're going about it the right way. That's just my take on it anyway. So anyway, welcome Trevor and Carolyn. So right now we're going to break down some tattoos that I have done this month. Let's see. We're going to start with, I did an earlier tattoo. And let me just give you guys some idea. Here on the page, we're changing some things up. We're going to do a show to talk on the last week of every month. And we're going to try and, do a really good show that's between 30 and 60 minutes. We were doing 30 minutes, but because we're only doing a show once a month, we're going to try and stretch that. Oh, sorry, just reading a comment. Kavika says, you're a tattoo artist, Josh. That's all that matters. Okay, thank you. So if you guys go on the page, we're going to be putting stuff up. Hopefully we update you throughout the month on what is going to be talked about on the last week, on the last show. And if you guys have any ideas, this is your guys' show. We try and do this for you guys. I'm very busy, but I like to just set this time aside once a month now, where I can just give back. So this is my time to give back to you guys. So let me know if you have any information or questions. Yeah, and I'm going to try and keep you guys updated on what's going on in Hawaii or throughout Polynesia. And if you guys know anything, let me know. We're creating community here. So let's break down some tattoos. 1 second. We have some technical difficulties. Does anyone have any questions? Pono, how's it? Pono, you're a tattoo artist, right? I believe. Clan, aloha. How's it, everyone? The mouse died. The mouse died. So we're trying to put up the tattoo, to break down the tattoo, but we're having a little trouble right now. How's it, Mike? What's up, everyone? So we are live right now, and earlier I went over some books, some tattoo reference books, so you guys can look in these comments. I got some links. You guys can just do that. Well, keep it plugged in so it can. All right, guys. Sorry about this. All right. Oh, Anthony. Any recommended readings for Guam? You know, I have some good books on Guam. It was really hard to find, but maybe that's what I'll do next time, is bring on some Guam books or Micronesian books. And Pono, yes, you're a tattoo artist, but you do more carvings than tattoos. And carving and tattoos go hand in hand, definitely, because of the symbols, the motifs, and it's an ancient practice. Especially in New Zealand, because in New Zealand, Aotearoa, they would actually, they would carve the tattoo on the face. So, just like carving on wood, and you see the indentions, they would do the same, not the same tools, but they would do it the same way in Aotearoa. Carving grooves into their skin and then rubbing charcoal, so it stays. That's crazy. Anyways, any questions? We are going to break down some tattoos, but the mouse died, of all things. First time ever, the mouse died. So we're kind of waiting on that. Sorry, guys. We could talk story here. Sup, Junior? How's it? Yeah, well, you know what? I could talk about Ray Lewis. So I don't know if you guys know about Ray Lewis, but he is he's a retired Hall of Famer in the NFL. He's well known, but anyways, I've done a bunch of tattoos on him. I've showed one of them. If you go on the Instagram, you'll see one of the tattoos I did on him. But since then, I've done more tattoos, and hopefully we can show that and break it down. He's very let's say, I don't know the right word. He's a very private guy, so I can't just show photos, and I respect all my clients in that way. But the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm working on a project with him, and I'm excited to bring this to you guys because it's been ongoing for months now, and it's getting really close to showing everyone and launching. But there's a lot put into it, and the best thing about it is that we're going to be able to put some Polynesian style and tattoos and kind of mix it. And that's exciting because he has a platform that's mainstream with the world, and he wants to take this global. And to be able to do something like that is a blessing, a huge blessing. And I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to show you guys, and that will put, I believe, Polynesia a little more on the map. It is. The Rock's doing a great job at that, but in this aspect, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool. So, all right, guys. So, Anthony says, how small does Ray Lewis make you feel? Yeah, I've dealt with a lot of NFL players, and it sucks because just standing next to him, I don't like it. Not even NFL players. A lot of Samoans, too. Hawaii. I mean, a lot of my family, actually. I'm the smallest one in my family. So standing next to my dad and my brothers is just silly, but I've grown to be okay with it. So anyways, yeah, let's do it. Robert, how's it? What's up? So let's break down these Polynesian tattoos. So right here, as you can see, I showed this tattoo earlier, but I'm not sure if I showed it complete. This is the complete piece, and I love it. This is family as well. But what I like about it is this this client, he's 18, just starting his life. So we included a cross right there, it's not necessarily a Marquesian cross on his shoulder, but I put a cross on there because, you know, God was number one to him, and that's very important to him. I'm not going to break down tattoos completely because everyone's story is private, but it's good to kind of see how symbols are used in Polynesian tattoos and how stories can be used. So there's family in there. There's the falamat. There's symbols of the falamat family. Let's see, along the back. Now, an interesting thing about this is that every time I do a design, things happen. It's really weird, but I've grown to have faith and just go with the flow. Meaning, I don't take credit for a lot of things that I design because I go into a tattoo completely blank. I'm very spiritual in that way where I just let it flow through me. So I do a consultation and I try and really understand why this person wants a tattoo, and I'm taking in information from the client along with I like to say God, Akua, just the spirit. And when I do that, I know that I'm ready to actually design. So when I start drawing on the client, things start happening. And what I like about this piece is when I was designing his tattoo on the back of his arm, it's kind of hard to see, but on the lower part, there's a bird in the negative space, and that's his journey. And as you can see, the bird is kind of down here, right here. So the bird in the negative space is down here. But before I designed that, there was an owl face that was formed. And maybe you could see it, maybe not, but I really saw it. The beak's down here, you know, the eye is right there, and then the bird forms kind of the brow of this pueo or owl. And I asked him, does he have any connections with owls, or I don't know what that is. So, and he was like, no, but what I've learned is there's a reason. There's a reason for that. You know, there's something called Aumakua in Hawaii, which is like your spirit animal. It's like ancestors, guides, protectors, and every culture has these animals. So I just feel like it was meant to be part of his tattoo, and I just leave it because that's what's supposed to happen. A lot of times I do this, and, you know, someone will come back and give me a story of something. Whatever happens, but I'm just doing my part. So that's just a fun little story on that. Here's the inside of his arm, and that's kind of like a carabao on the inside. That's his Filipino side ancestry. And he also has a little Guam, so the carabao is very prominent in Philippines and Guam. And then he has his family right above with the motifs right here, right above the carabao. And yeah, that's a quick breakdown. There's more, how it all connects and comes together. But let me read some comments. So, Auntie Sherry, how is it that a tattoo artist can draw so beautiful but cannot write a name out nicely? I've seen it, and Ashley had one done, and it took the artist forever to write one name. I don't doubt it because I have bad penmanship as well. So that might be me as well. That might be. But I don't know if I'll take as long as them, but it's true. It's a different art. But thanks for that comment. All right, next, let's break down this wrist piece. Now, the reason why I like this piece is this particular female had a lot going on in her life. You know, let's keep it confidential because I don't want no one to know who this is, just for the client's story and life. But I really, really like this piece because as she was telling the story, certain symbols and ideas just come to me, and it's really crazy. And I like it because it's not common. What I did with her and what happened, it's just not common. So as you can see, there's a fish hook, and a fish hook right there on her wrist. It's normally on a male fisherman. It doesn't have to be, but normally that's, you know, a common motif used for many things. I know nowadays it's used for good luck. I've heard that, but it's also like a leader or a head of the household. Like a provider. That's the best way. A fish hook was very important in ancient Polynesia in general, but you could always go and fish, and almost every man was a fisherman. Everyone had their own trade, but you go and get fish for your family. So what I like about this was a big part of her life. She was the head of the household, and she is currently. And being that leader that she is, she had some problems, and she needed that boost, that lift, guidance, some mana to move on, because she knows the past couple of years been real rough. And for some reason, I was drawing, and it formed. The fish hook formed, and I was like, this is supposed to be here. And it flowed so well. It just worked. I liked it. It worked. The top of her wrist, it's like bringing together a household, which is what she does, or commitment. It's like a commitment piece. And then here on the inside of the wrist, you could see that a little more on the bottom. And then, that's her on the middle. And in the middle of her wrist, that's mana, or, a container, ipu, universe, all these different meanings, but really it's just power, mana. And that's her. It's the leader that she is, and the guidance, everything around it is just guidance and actually reaching out to other people. Because as a leader, you don't just like lead people. You actually, a lot of times are serving people, and you need to get advice from people and reach out for help when needed. These are all things of leadership. So that's things that we talked about, and that's including this tattoo. So that's that. Now, this last tattoo, breaking down, there's a quick video that I want you guys to see. I see some sad, mad faces. Go ahead and write a comment. I want to talk it out. I like talking it out, guys, because that's how we move forward. We don't just, hate anonymously. We kind of say why, because I'm sure whoever is sad or mad about what is going on right now, we together can learn and create more unity. That's what it's all about. In today's world, that's what we have to do. We're not living in ancient times where it's oral tradition passed down, and the missionaries and the Howleys and the Europeans are over there and we're over here. Everyone's mixed. And nowadays, your blood might even be mixed. Go check your DNA. I mean, it's probably mixed. And we need to unite. That's what the world's coming to now. And part of uniting is sharing information and knowledge of our ancestors to carry it forward. So let's watch this video, and we'll talk about it. I'm actually going to talk through the video. So right here, this tattoo was a cover-up. So this is what he came with, and what I did was I started drawing following his muscle structure so I could see where the lines are and what I would have to do to cover this up. Now the word would be easy. I would just have to make a bold line to cover that and flow with the shoulder, but the circular piece on his shoulder was a lot harder. So my idea for that was I would have to cover it with a skin flesh tone ink, and you can't do that all the time. But here's a close-up. You could see how dark it is. It's really dark, and if I cover it with anything, it's going to pop through. And you see that in some tattoos. It just pops through. So you'll see me cover it with some flesh ink to fade it so that when I do cover it later, it's hidden. This is me in progress. You could see how the word is covered up by the bold line, and the little pieces that's popping through, I'll go ahead and cover that in future sessions. Now this whole piece was about 6 sessions, I believe, so I had time. So right after this was done, I went ahead and covered with the flesh color on that big piece. So when he came back for his next session, it was healed. And here's a picture of it healed. So you could still see it, but it's faded. So what I did on this session, it was a couple months later, I was able to go over it again. I wanted to go over it again with flesh color. You can't really do that, guys. You can't just cover a tattoo with flesh color because the old tattoo will pop through. But you can fade it, and you got to be real strategic about it. So as you could see, this is just in progress. I faded it like, I might have did it 3 times just so that it's really hidden. And this is it completely done with shading, the details, line work, everything. You could see where I hid the words through shading and some line work. And the shoulder piece, it just kind of blends in. Now, if you look closely, you will be able to see the flesh colored ink. And I knew that was going to happen, but it's a lot better than seeing some dark ink popping through the cover up. So this is just something I've been doing, and it has been working. But you kind of, you got to be real careful, because when you put flesh color ink over an old tattoo, you're not really covering it on top, you're just blending it. So you have to know it's going to pop through that, but you will fade it enough sometimes. So here's a quick video just so you guys can see all around, close-up shots. And then we're going to go ahead and break it down here in a bit. I believe this whole sleeve took probably about 20 hours. 20 hours to complete. If I didn't put any shading, probably 14 hours. Shading takes a while for detail. A lot of people ask on time for full sleeves and things like that. All right. So let's break this down. Now, he is in law enforcement. Well, again, I can't break down tattoos with people's lives too much. But he wanted strength, protection. Shark's teeth is a good motif for protection. And it goes back to in Hawaii and probably throughout Polynesia. But the story that I know of is in Polynesia, in Hawaii. There was a female, she was out in the water, and her aumakua was the shark, which is her protector animal, her ancestors, her guides. And when she went out in the water, in the beach, she got bit by a shark on her ankle. And then it knew it was her, and it let her go. So she went back, and she's like, she didn't know why she got bit. But when it healed in a triangle pattern, like the teeth. So that was a motif to know if you see the triangles. So what the Hawaiians would do is, put triangles on their ankles, or mark themselves with the triangles or the shark teeth pattern as a way for protection. Now, obviously, this is just a story that I read in history. Is it true? I don't know. This is how a lot of the history is recorded, through either oral tradition or written down. But, it makes sense. It makes sense because there's a lot of legends and beliefs that go along those lines. And I like it. I like the idea of that. So they take the shark's teeth and the triangles as far as protection from the shark, just in general for protection. And that's one way that you can use the symbol, but it's good to know why. So he wanted protection. Right here you could see the coqui frog. That's a Puerto Rican. So he's Puerto Rican, and he wanted to put part of his culture, the Puerto Rican culture on there. But he said, being an islander himself, he relates a lot to Polynesian people. He has Polynesian friends, but also the culture and the tattoos. So a lot of the indigenous tribes and the cultures are very similar, from Native American, Puerto Rican, throughout Polynesia. I even looked up Taiwan, because when I researched and found out that Polynesians probably came from Taiwan, there's over 100 tribes in Taiwan right now, currently in the mountains, that are very similar to Polynesian. So what I did was I listened to their chants and their songs. There's some that I would say is very unique to them and their culture, but some sound so Polynesian. They sound really similar, where I wouldn't even know. So that kind of gives more proof that we are all one people, you know, way back, hundreds, thousands of years, we're all one people. So anyways, here's another view of his arm. And here I want to show a close-up. Well, just here's the cover-up so you guys can see it before and after. And for you tattoo artists that have questions on cover-ups and things to think about, things to know about, you can ask questions. Let me know. Here's just what I did, and then here's a close-up before and after. And as you can see, the flesh-colored ink, you could see the difference. Part of it is popping out of the circular symbol, which is better that color's popping out than black. But it might look like a mole, it might look, you know, like something, but it's just better than his other option, which is black. And I want to see it healed, but yeah, I think it came out good, and he loves it. So that is that. So that's the show, guys. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Feel free to send messages, write comments. Let me know what you guys want to talk about next show. I'll go ahead and bring a Guam book on and anything else. I have Tong and Samoa. I've many books. I'm even starting to study Aztec because I'm doing that now. We have a lot of requests for that, and I want to know what I'm getting into besides just doing it. But if you guys have any questions, any topics you want to go over, if anyone knows anything else on Mauna Kea, let me know. I'm going to be talking with Ali Nui with Kingdom of Atui and get updates on him and what if he has any involvement and what he's trying to do, because he is he's very active in the Polynesian community. So I'm sure he's doing something with that, and I'll find out for next time. Let me see. So before we go, Kalen, Josh, it was awesome meeting you on Saturday. Mahalo for taking time to listen to my story and my journey, and thank you for the time and effort that all of you put into understanding of polyculture. The museum was incredible, and you can feel the mana when you enter the studio. Mahalo to you, and especially John, for creating such a memorable piece for me. Forever grateful. Mahalo nui loa. Kalen, thank you. Thank you for sharing your story, and I just want to apologize because John was supposed to be on today, everyone. He is a tattoo artist here at Island Tat, and we are going to get Suni on eventually because I want you guys to meet the artist here and know who works here and represents Island Tat as well. But John was going to be on and talk about Kalen's tattoo, a very, very touching story, meaningful story for his tattoo. We were going to break it down, but John's sick. So we talked about it, actually, Kalen. So next show, he's going to break it down. And we're more than happy to share your story because it's very meaningful. So you guys can look forward to that for next time. And, yeah, let me know if there's anything else. Please share this. Let everyone know. Subscribe and follow us. And until then, we'll see you guys Tuesday next month on the last week. All right, shoots.